Okay, once you've finished making all your adjustments to the transcription, you can go ahead and go to captions here. Create captions from transcript. You want to open this up here and you should see all these options come up. First of all, this is where the font style that we imported here comes in. We're gonna decrease the maximum length in characters to about, I would say, about 15. I'm gonna bring it down to 15. We're gonna decrease this to about 2.5, and we're gonna make this single and create captions. Now, when you look at your captions, you'll see that some of them are lowercase. So we're gonna highlight all of our captions here. This screen should come up here, and we're just going to make them all caps. So click on this one here. You should see that they all become caps. And now the next thing that we're going to do is go through. We're going to go back to editing first of all, and we're going to zoom in here, and we're just going to go through our video and make sure that the words here are timed perfectly and they align perfectly with what Pastor Bruce is saying. So let's watch.
Advice for women who don't want to be closed off and how to know, okay, this off and how to know.
Okay.
Closed off and how to.
All right, so we have a little jump here. So I think between 1 to 4 letters per caption box is a good standard, but not in a situation like this where it disappears so quickly that nobody can even read it. So in this case, let's watch it again.
And how to.
Yeah, you can barely see that "and" here. So what I'm going to do is to take a word from here to just make it even. Let's cut this. So you can press Control X to cut or Command X to cut. And I'm going to click on this box here. Make sure you select it. We're going to double click here, and then we're going to paste it. And how? And what you'll notice is that you're going to need to also change the length of this box so that it matches the words that he's saying.
And how to.
Okay. So we want to adjust this because he says 2 around here. Let's play it again.
How to know.
2.
How to know. No. How to know. How to know. No. How to. How to know.
All right, so he says 2 around here. So this box, we need to adjust it. Wait for the red symbol to come up, and then you can drag it like this, and we've adjusted it. So now when we look at the words, they should align perfectly with what he's saying.
And how to.
There we go. Let's play it from the beginning.
Off and how to know.
That looks better. We can actually see the "and" how. So let's keep going. Okay, so there's a part where he kind of detracts from the question where he says,
No, okay, this is the second part of the.
we don't need this because he's basically speaking out loud when this is something that will usually be in his mind. So we don't need this part. So I'm just going to highlight this and delete all that text and then drag this to cover. So
This is the second part of the question. How's.
yeah, we don't need any of that. So we're just going to take the question.
Off and how to know, okay, this is the second part of the question. How to know when to be open
Just like that.
to a guy who is showing attention/interest.
Okay, so we have a word that is split between 2 lines. I don't think that looks the best. So what you can do is click once and then drag this open. And that kind of gets the job done, but at the same time, it still doesn't look great to me. So the other option would just be to move this to the second line. So instead of having it split between 2 lines, just put at the bottom.
Showing attention/interest, but is not directly pursuing.
All right. Whenever you see gaps like this, we want to fill them. We don't want there to be a moment where there is no word showing. So just close the gap and remember the red symbol to drag it and fill that space. All right, so I see an opportunity here to emphasize words, and I think this is a big part of Reels to keep people's attention. You want to diversify the way that your words pop up. So he says not directly pursuing. So let's capitalize on that emphasis that he's making on those words and just make them bigger. So in order to make the words bigger, first of all, let's separate them. So we have not directly pursuing, 3 cuts. So let's take this 1 box and turn it into 2. In order to do that, you already know, just cut it. So Control K, but wait for the moment where he says directly. If you look at the audio down here, you already know. So let's go here. Let's find out. Okay, directly starts here. Let's cut this box specifically. Make sure you're not selecting this. You're clicking on this box, pressing Control K, and now you have two boxes here. So for the first box, we're gonna get rid of directly. We're gonna remove that. We're gonna highlight it. We're gonna go to captions and graphics. And this is where all your settings for the font is. So let's increase the size. Let's make it pretty big. But we also have to take into consideration the other words that we're making big. So I don't want to make it too big. Let's say 140 for now. So let's make it 140. Let's scroll along, go to this one directly. Let's make it big as well. Let's delete not. Make sure we highlight this 140 directly. And then pursuing. Pursuing starts right here. We want to close this gap. Okay, pursuing, highlight it, 140. Choose whatever number works for you. You might have a situation where you make the word too big. Let's say we make it 170. Okay, you have this. We don't want that. You want to avoid this. Even if you widen this box, oh, it works. Okay, let me change that. If I make it 180, okay, we don't want to have this situation here. So that means you just got to make it smaller. So let's bring it down to 170, and then you have the bigger word. But you never want a situation where it's split. So just keep that in mind when you're enlarging text.
It's not directly person. How many
Okay. I feel like I could make the words even bigger. Feel free to do that if you want, but I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, you might have a moment where, yeah, it just makes more sense for, he says Jesse pursued. It makes more sense for the words to be together. So I'm gonna put pursued here, and we're just gonna delete this because it separated them for some reason. We don't need this anymore. Delete, drag this across. Remember the red symbol.
Pursued. Somebody say.
Okay.
Pursued.
Okay, so he says Jesse pursued. Okay, the second pursued starts around here. We can see the raise. We can see the increase in the waveform here. So we're gonna adjust this so that it matches. Let's listen to it. Let's watch it.
Pursued.
Okay, now it matches.
Somebody say.